make firm thy mind. The tongue of a man is the rudder of the boat, but the Lord of all is its pilot. Cast not thy heart after riches, there's no ignoring fate and destiny. Place not thy thoughts on things outside, every man is destined for his hour.
On feeling goods where all of your cash went, not chakra alignment or inward refinement. Trying to find one word to describe men. Better yet, can one consciousness unify them? Pondering on these questions is where my time spent. Creative process, believe me, greatness got to achieve it. Ideas we believe in, positive mind, gotta reach in it. Putting effort to bring forth this new being. You're not consumed by the lust for things, but knows that his work is determined by words and deeds. Your mind is affected by words and deeds. Your thoughts are keys to what you're trying to see, and what you're trying to see should be to reach your goals. Hold on to your dreams, keys open doors. Since you can't always choose circumstances, make sure to choose your thoughts wisely. Choose advancement, work towards the future. Now's your chance, kid. Accept responsibility, avoid resentment. Actions always take root from what you think about. Things ain't going your way, it ain't hard to figure out. Why? Oh, why? Ask why. Ain't gotta tell you, it's right in front of your eyes. So in following these principles you'll find along the road, you're the only one responsible for your soul. It's no coincidence. Take control of your life, no coincidence. It's no coincidence. You take control, no coincidence. It's no coincidence. Yeah, it's no coincidence. It's no coincidence. Nah, it's no coincidence.
Old shells are highly prized. And this one is occupied by a sarcastic fringe.
You are now entering another dimension. A dimension not only of sight and sound, but of critical thinking. A journey to a wondrous land with boundaries that of clarification. Your next stop, the Sanity Zone.
So, you're a philosopher?
Yes. 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 I think very deeply. I think very deeply. I think very deeply. I think very deeply.
In about 4 seconds, a teacher will begin to speak.
I think very deeply.
And you're listening to breaking news, absolutely breaking the news, breaking the mainstream media in half with Harry, aka The Brave. Happy Monday. Happy Monday to everybody out there. What's up? How's it going? So, my weekend went well. Quiet. Did nothing. Now let's get it. Let's just jump right into some headlines here. Let's start with Ocasio Alexandria, Congresswoman Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. She's done some interesting comparisons lately, right? So she compared her, let me just read the headline. Democratic Socialist Ocasio-Cortez compares her election victory to the moon landing. Yes. Ocasio-Cortez thinks of her taking the first step for humanity on the moon. You know, she's insane. This lady, Democratic Socialist darling Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, on Friday said fellow progressives and her election victory in an overwhelming Democratic district was akin to the 1969 moon landing and the 1964 Civil Rights Act. I don't know. Somebody needs to pull her chain. She's nuts. What did I say? Pull her chain. What is that? We've done what we thought was impossible, she told the crowd during an event hosted by an environmental group, the Sunshine Movement, that aims to combat climate change. We went to the moon. We electrified the nation. We established civil rights. Poor Ocasio-Cortez. She is really... I was talking to a Democrat about her today, and they were saying that they're disappointed in her because she says so many stupid things, right? And she's a funny person. She's funny. When you look at her as an up-and-coming congresswoman, right, who probably wants to one day be able to replace Nancy Pelosi as Speaker of the House, it's hard to take her serious because she's a funny person. She says stuff like, you know, compares herself to the moon landing. So it's hard. So this Democrat was he was upset, saying they're trying to support her. You know, she's a Hispanic young lady with a possible future. If she would just shut up and get out her way. Now, the person who told me this was a man, right? So just think about that. They want this young woman to shut up and get out her own way. That sounds horrible, right? But you know, that's how Democrats are. They really don't like women. I crack myself up because I do this because this is what you guys do. So I'm fighting against you, myself, and you know, me, myself, and I. So anyway, so he was disappointed, and they really, the Hispanic community and a lot of the Bernie Sanders, democratic socialists, that's what they call themselves, but they're socialists. They're putting a lot of eggs in her basket, and they feel she's disappointing. Now they could say that because they're Democrats, right? But now if somebody from Fox News makes fun of her ignorance, she calls it sexism and racism. But you know, I'm hearing it from both sides. Right, but let's grab another one of Ocasio-Cortez's comparisons about herself, right? Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez compares. Oh, this is not about herself. Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez compares migrant caravan to Jews fleeing the Holocaust. See the comparison? Yeah. They willingly came. They're willingly taking the trek to come to America to try to get in illegally. Yeah, that's the same as the Holocaust. You see the comparison, right? You see it. Come on. Don't tell me you don't see it. This lady is nuts. New York Democratic Representative-elect Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez on Sunday compared members of the migrant caravan attempting to enter the United States to Jews fleeing Nazi Germany during the Holocaust. Members of the caravan on Sunday rushed the border at San Ysidro, port of entry which connects Tijuana, Mexico, and San Diego. Anyway, so it's interesting, right? People coming willingly, actually attacking our border agents with rocks. That's the same as the Holocaust, right? But that's your Democrats. That's your future leader right there. I mean, It's not like Nancy Pelosi doesn't say crazy stuff, right? You gotta pass the bill before you find out what's in the bill. You remember that with Obamacare? That was Nancy Pelosi. So, all right. Let's take a quick music break and I'll be right back. You're listening to Breaking News, absolutely breaking the mainstream media with Harry, aka The Brave, on WNHH LP 103.5 FM, your home for community radio.
Yeah, evil man, yeah. Why you stealing from my people? You ain't never treated C. You will never treat me E. Evil man, yeah. Why you stealing from my people? You ain't never treated C. You will never treat me E. Another Jesus Judah parallel tale. The story really never ends well. Swarm down like a vulture. Judas bent us over and it came and f***ed us over. Now we selling agriculture. My island, falling down in a hole in silence. Peace and violence, keep it silence. Forever staying strong. Can't bring me down along. I know you really hate this song. Money has a soul, now we pay back loans. School shutting down, they don't even have a frown. Breaking laws, no American representative represented us it up. What happened, Uncle Sam? Fucking up in plans. Lo hago por mi pueblo, situación de deseo para hacer lo que puedo. Now tell me how this hook does it sound so good. Evil man, yeah. Why you stealing from my people? You ain't never treated C. You will never treat me E. Evil man, yeah. Why you stealing from my people? You ain't never treated C. You will never treat me E. They will never change. They will never change. They will never change. They will never change. Let me take you back to Black Wall Street. Really have a white man off me. Keep your mouth quiet about Christopher Columbus. Say clues about the riots, I murder our thousands. Victims of America, how they telling us we're free in the land where they bury us. My island not for sale. May his words live long and prevail. Do you feel? Rip my roots, take my life, make me dumb, shoot my kind. Kill our leaders, my people so deceitful. Everything you ever done was evil. Our minds still tied to those chains. Still walking like slaves, getting played by the game. Some things will never change, but I'm standing by my flag, yelling as I ask. Evil man, yeah. Why you stealing from my people? You ain't never treated C. You will never treat me E. Evil man, yeah. Why you stealing from my people? You ain't never treated C. You will never treat me E. Never treat me E. Evil man, evil man.
I guess when you major in journalism these days, you have to minor in kickboxing.
Hey, Uncle Frank.
Hey, guys. What happened to you? I thought you knew how to duck.
You should see the other 100 guys. How bad do I look?
Not bad, if you're a piñata.
So I guess the takeaway here is next time you cover a rally, hope the president doesn't give you a shout-out.
When Trump left the stage, I decided to leave the press pen and go interview some of the people. Next thing I knew, I'm surrounded by a sea of red hats.
Oh, God.
No big deal. I'm just milking this for the Jell-O and sponge baths.
All right. That was a clip from the Murphy Brown show. Because they decided that it was intelligent to make an episode of a reporter being attacked at a Trump rally. Yep, and that's what you have. And you see this. I doubt that they would allow that during the Obama years, right? Somebody attacking Obama on a TV show just to get ratings. But it's what you have now. CBS is all in, right? CBS is all in. So CBS, they won't report about immigrants who commit crimes, who actually commit murder and take away, who permanently separate children from their parents, permanently do it, separate American children from their American parents, but they'll do this fake propaganda in order to try to get you to hate Trump. And this is on the Murphy Brown Show. So, failing CBS show makes up storyline about Trump supporters assaulting reporters. Of all the reboots of older properties we've seen on TV of late, Murphy Brown has been at least necessary and most socio-politically ham-handed. The show has always thrived during its original run on topical political humor. In 2018, topical political humor more or less revolves around Donald J. Trump. You may begin to see why a show banking on this is superfluous. No matter how familiar you may be with the characters. Just 13 episodes after its initial airing, which was complete with a dubious Hillary Clinton cameo, Murphy Brown is wrapping up its time on CBS. And while it's not going out just yet, what better way to ramp up to the finale than an episode in which Trump supporters physically assault reporters? According to Entertainment Weekly, the show's plotline features Frank Fontana, a reporter in the show, getting beaten after covering a political rally. So, that's sad, right? It's almost like they're the ones encouraging violence against reporters, right? Trump says he's the enemy of fake news, and they take that and they run with it to the point that they're telling you he hates all reporters, and that the media, he said the media is the enemy of Americans, right? The media is the enemy. But he's never said that. He has said fake news is the enemy. Now, Trump loves the media more than anybody else. That's how he became president. And he's given more press conferences now as president than Obama did in his first 2 years. So Trump loves the media. He just doesn't love rude media. That makes sense, right? Kind of makes sense. Kind of makes common sense, right? But CBS and Murphy Brown, they're really selling you fake news hard. And with this show, they're trying to propagandize their show into their Trump hate. So, sad. But this is what we have in America these days. The media isn't the media anymore. They're just, I don't take anything seriously, right? So, like Friday, Joe Ugly, in my discussions with Joe Ugly, he didn't know that Obama had also tear gassed immigrants, illegal immigrants at the border, people trying to come in illegally, right? He didn't know that when the Border Patrol has found itself overwhelmed, they dispersed tear gas in order to disperse the crowd, right? So, anyway, Joe Ugly didn't know that. He was like, well, you heard that? I never heard that before. I haven't heard it in any other main newspapers. And this is the thing. It's there now. They're always slow to catch up, right? The media had no choice but to show you that Obama did it. But in order to find it in the newspaper, it's not going to be on the front page. You have to actually look in. You look for the stories on page 30-something, because anything against the Democrats, they try to hide it away. But they say, oh, well, we reported it. It's just on page 27. So, and today, the same thing. I was talking to somebody, and they don't ever know the facts, right? So, it just makes no sense. So they were telling me today how it's obvious now with Michael Cohen, and I got the story here. I'll look it up on the next break. Michael Cohen, Trump's ex-lawyer, former lawyer. Now that he's pleaded guilty, it's obvious that Trump was in collusion. You know, and I'm like, wait. So Trump was colluding with Russia, even though this deal that Cohen is talking about, this is years in the making. Trump's been trying to build a building in Russia, the Trump Tower. Now, this means, because Cohen said that he stopped talking to them in January, but actually continued to talk to them till June, which he didn't break any laws. The only law he broke was actually giving them the wrong day, if that's the law. If that's the law that he broke, because he's pleading to lying, which means he's pleading to lying. That means they probably got him for something else, and he's pleading all the way to lying. So who really knows the story? But so I started explaining to him that it wasn't illegal for Trump, a businessman, to actually try to continue to do business while he was running for president, to actually do his occupation. And they're like, what do you mean? And I'm like, wait, listen, slow down. What do you mean? That Cohen pleaded to lying about the timeline of the negotiations to build the building. What do you mean that they got Trump colluding? And they go, well, that's what I saw, that they got him for colluding. No, you can't look at Rachel Maddow. You can't look at Joe Scarborough. They're never going to tell you the truth. You have to actually do some actual homework. If you want to be part of the political conversation. If not, then do what most Democrats do. They go and they vote for their party because their mama told them to, or because their mama used to, or their father used to be Democrats, or they're Democrats. But, you know, they can't think for themselves, so they don't even know why they're Democrats, except for the relationship issue. I know, because I used to be like that. I was a Democrat because I was born a Democrat. So it's like being born Christian. It's hard to switch religion, right? So that's how most people are with their politics, with their political leanings. They are what they're usually raised to be. Now, I eventually grew up and started, thinking for myself, which is probably why I'm not a Christian today, or, I'm not attached to any church. I'm not attached to any belief system, because I started thinking for myself and chose not to follow anyone. So, but when you think for yourself, it's pretty cool. So you can say to yourself, all right, Cohen lied, but it wasn't illegal to do business. He just pleaded to the lie, not the actual function of doing business, but to the lie is what you go, oh, wow, that's common sense. He's actually being charged with lying, not being charged with actually doing business. See? But, yeah, I know it's hard to think sometimes. But.
So you're a philosopher?
I'm a philosopher.
Yes.
What?
Yes.
I think very deeply.
Yes.
You're listening to Breaking News, absolutely breaking the news with Harry, a.k.a. The Brave, on WNHH LP 103.5 FM, your home for community radio.
I think very deeply.
Kel's in the building with me, though. Huh? Smoking mirrors, but the Zilla got the straight vision after holding these ups down just like
victims. Got a double notch to kicks, you see the fam tripping. My soldiers RTB, we on the mission, pardon me. That bull be a DUV, you won't last like RG3, I guarantee. Money back and y'all don't want none of that. Treat it like leftovers, gotta keep it under wraps. Only at a concert would dudes be the ones to clap. The king's is back, you hear us clear, this ain't no mumble rap. Trump hand thoughts follow these walks like a Thundercat. Standing on my ego, high level to the money stack. I be trying to get it, they be trying to borrow. I see them with their hands out, I'ma see you tomorrow. Not the one to follow, drink the beer and swing the bottle. Roll a plank and get higher than Mount Kilimanjaro. Success fill a hater heart with sorrow. If you side switch it, dudes to get what you get. Me and Kel's got the force, come to sip. Trouble you quick, them other side cats wanna run and hide facts. Small world, see me right where you at. Burn the J right in the front and I'ma be right back. See about what they talking so I know it's real. Bite now, you know the deal. I'll fuck the city up like I'm Cloverfield.
Dog, we never changed up. Dog, we never changed up. For 2 decades, we've been on the same stuff. Like high tide, my people, we done came up. Now let me mix the gin and tonic in the same cup. Dog, we never changed up. Dog, we never changed up. For 2 decades, we've been on the same stuff. Like high tide, my people, we done came up. Now let me mix the gin and tonic in the same cup. This shit easy, like reciting the alphabet. I'm the Omega, and you still ain't see the alpha yet. It raps might blow you fools out your sweats, leave you with a joker face just for coming out your neck. In the booth we're trying, and I'm writing like a marathon. Other rappers hating like this an unfairathon. I keep breathing hip-hop until my air is gone. When it comes to lyricism, people, I'm the paragon. Hating and carry on, that's until I bury you. I'm a cool dude, I'll take you to the cemetery too. I'm no Crip, but I'm feeling like Larry Who. Got a baby face, but they act like I'm a scary dude. They terrified. Scared to ride, I'm prepared to die. Real, I am scared to lie. I'm killing everything, I feel it in the air tonight. Animal with the bars, it's like they got a better right. I'm rapping on a beat named Cloverfield. And you know I'm spitting with a Hoverfield. The flow's froze, my get a cold as chills. Me and Crime eating this, you know that we overfilled. I melt every mic, I spit fire to. Most people need one, I require two.
The basic idea of fascism was government control over the private economy and government control over the lives of citizens. That's the meaning of fascism. That's what it is. That's what the Nazis were all about, the National Socialist Party. In my movie, well, we believe Dr. Ford. We believe Dr. Ford. We believe Dr. Ford. We believe Dr. Ford. Well, we believe Dr. Ford. We have some Dr. Ford enthusiasts here. Let me ask you this question. Let me ask you guys this question. Well, okay, if you'll stop chanting, I'll address your point. Here's something interesting. Where is Dr. Ford? You know, this is really interesting. When I noticed that when Roy, hold on, don't shout at me, you'll have a chance to ask questions. When Roy Moore was attacked by all these women, he oppressed me, he did this, he did that. And suddenly, when he's defeated, they all melt into air. This is Karl Marx, all that is solid melts into air. Suddenly, the media, hold on, don't shout at me, don't shout at me, no, you came voluntarily. Did I ask you to come? No, don't shout at me. I'm defending fascism. No, I'm exposing you as a fascist. Because do you realize, I'll tell you how. You asked me a question. Hold on. Are you familiar with the black shirts in Italy or the brown shirts in Germany? Do you realize that they would go to campuses, goons, and would stand in the back of the room, and when somebody tried to make an intelligent presentation and answer questions, they would shout them down, yell at them, try to intimidate them, and count as success if they could get the event canceled and the speaker threatened. But see, the problem is, sometimes you get speakers like me who are not scared of people like you. We recognize your frauds.
All right. That was Dinesh D'Souza. He was at a college, and they tried to shut down his speech. And I like him. He fights back. You know, and his comparison of the brown shirts, Hitler's brown shirts, is right on at what I've been saying. You look at the way Antifa acts, their thuggish behavior, and trying to shut down free speech. You know, if they don't like what you're saying, you pay a price, but they can say whatever they want to say because free speech is theirs, just not ours. That's Hitler's brown shirts. And Antifa is on the Democrat side. So that was Dinesh D'Souza. All right, let's move on to I was talking about Michael Cohen before I went on break, so let's go there. Cohen's guilty plea suggests Russia has leverage over Trump, top Democrat says, right? So last week's admission by Michael Cohen that he lied to Congress about a Trump organization's real estate project in Moscow suggests the Russian government may have damaging information on President Trump, a top Democrat said Sunday. Representative Jared Nadler, the incoming chairman of the House Judiciary Committee, said in an appearance on NBC's Meet the Press that Thursday's plea by Cohen, Trump's former personal attorney, raises the question of whether Russia continues to have leverage over Trump. So I know I explained this, but Comey, well, it might as well be Comey. Special Prosecutor Mueller did not charge anything on the deal list on Trump trying to do business. He didn't charge Cohen for representing Trump in the deal. He charged Michael Cohen with lying to Congress. Because that's what happened. He went before the Judiciary Committee and he lied. He said, well, I guess he lied. It could have been a mistake, but he's pleading to lying, so let's just say he lied, right? So he said the business deal, he stopped contacting Russians about building a tower in Russia January 2016. Now, he happens to actually stop June 2016, which is verified by all the papers that Trump turned over to Mueller. He didn't fight. He didn't, actually say no. He didn't go burn his server. He didn't bleach bit it. He didn't Clorox bleach it. They didn't get rid of all the emails. They turned everything, over 1 million documents, to Mueller. So the supporting documents that Mueller has in actually charging Cohen with lying is there. The supporting documents are actually Trump's documents. So Trump doesn't lie in this. Mueller hits Cohen with lying, but he doesn't hit him with a charge for doing business for Mr. Trump at the time. He wasn't President Trump. Nope. And actually, June 2016 is when it starts looking like Trump is the nominee. So Trump cuts all ties with any business dealing. So actually, the supporting document against Cohen are Trump's documents. So, this, what is he? Representative Jared Nadler from New York. These people are so delusional. They hate Trump so bad that they see guilt in everything. Every single thing. Right? Let's go to another story having to do with this. So Cohen is admitting to talking to Russia till June, and he's saying that Trump remained involved in the Moscow Tower project during the campaign. Well, sometimes things are so obvious. So Trump remained involved in his business dealings, not just with Russia, with trying to build a tower, but with every business dealing during his campaign. He wasn't supposed to quit his job. What if he didn't become president? That makes no sense. Quit all business dealings, but he did. When it looks like he's the nominee, he cuts off all business dealings. So it makes no sense. So what I'm saying is, Cohen saying that Trump remained involved in the project during the campaign, that's obvious, because Cohen is working for Trump. Makes no sense. But, you know, you can see whatever you want to see in it. That's the good thing about these articles. They're so open-ended. They're not giving you any proof of anything criminal. They're saying, aha, you see this? This could, and that's what Rachel Maddow does on her show. What if Trump does have a backdoor communication set up with Russia? But there's no proof. But what if? That's what all these people do. They play the what if game. And you don't even have to play the what if game with Hillary, right? Hillary destroyed her emails. Hillary bleached the server so that the FBI couldn't get her emails. That's the destruction of evidence that had been subpoenaed. You know, and we could do the same thing with Obama, right? Look at all the scandals under Obama. Fast and Furious. That was the running of guns into Mexico to the cartel, which came back and killed border agents and killed Mexicans on the other side. That's not ambiguous. Obama coming out and telling you that the reason our ambassador in Benghazi died was because of a video that had about 12 hits before Obama says it. So we could do this all day. Or if you like your healthcare plan, you could keep your healthcare plan. If you like your doctor, you could keep your doctor. Obama lied for almost a year. Continued to lie. If you want your doctor, you can keep your doctor, period, he would say. And he knew he was lying, but he lied to pass a law, to pass a policy, to pass Obamacare. That's worse than anything. Right? What? Nobody cares. Nobody cares. Nobody cares. All right, so Giuliani trashes Mueller probe over unethical tactics over Cohen guilty plea. So President Donald Trump's attorney, Rudy Giuliani, took aim at special counsel Robert Mueller in an interview airing Sunday, criticizing what he called unethical tactics by prosecutors in Mueller's office after former Trump lawyer Michael Cohen pleaded guilty to lying to Congress. In an interview with AM 970 in New York, Giuliani accused Mueller of crossing a line by intimidating Trump's allies into saying what he believes is his version of the truth. They obviously exerted a lot of pressure on him. Mr. Cohen, unfortunately, has a history of significant lies in the past. Giuliani told John Castellamizzi, I don't know his name, Catsimatidis, to this, reacting to Cohen's admission last Thursday that he lied Congress when he lied to Congress when he previously detailed to the body at the extent of the president's business dealings in Russia. It doesn't matter. Look, you have Paul Manafort, who threw away his deal with Robert Mueller. You have Roger Stone's assistant, threw away his deal because he was actually cooperating. Roger Stone's assistant, I forgot his name, but he was actually cooperating, gave his laptop and everything, and Mueller, they were thanking him. He said they were all overjoyed that he was so cooperating until they asked him to lie. And when he chose not to lie, they turned on him. So now he got rid of his deal. And they wanted him to plead to lying, just like Cohen. Plead to lying and connect somehow Trump to some Russian spy or something. So, the former New York City mayor who joined Trump's legal team earlier this year to handle the White House's response to the special counsel probe added that Mueller's prosecution of Paul Manafort, Trump's former campaign chairman, was intended to force Manafort to implicate Trump in collusion with Russia that Giuliani says never occurred. Well, that's what Manafort and his team are saying too. Right? They're trying to force him into lying with charges that they've drummed up from 2005. Charges that were investigated by Rod Rosenstein in 2005. And no charges were ever brought. But now the special prosecutor Mueller was able to bring those charges and win in court. So, it's... all of this stuff gets complicated, but at the same time, they're going after Trump full tilt. I mean, they are leaning forward after Trump. They're going after him. And they haven't been able to, I'm talking about Teflon Don. They haven't been able to come up with anything on Trump. All right, you're listening to Breaking News, absolutely breaking the news with Harry, a.k.a. The Brave. I'll be right back.
Early morning rising, the sun is shining. All that staring, all that smiling is kinda cunning, not far apart. Across my yard, gave you my time, stimulated your mind. But you my best friend. Keep it moving, see it down, no wasting time. Had to break the silence, smooth as killer's quiet. Have a smiling, ain't typing, phone numbers dialing. Verb is so excellent, no questioning my confidence. Different worlds, seeing girls caught up in the swirl. Always searching for the one, walking with a loaded gun. The next day, again with her text, my best friend. So soaring through the night, flashing lights. You did your own thing, opening shop, taking shots. I never mind clubbing with my best friend. Okay, she walked by so fine, had to make her mine. Mysterious woman, I like what you're doing. You know I'm pursuing to touch. Rock and roll for her soul, gave a show, had a sprung. Sunrise, conversations of what I be slaying. Who will be the one since you're looking for a crush? Ambitious and smart, a freak, a shark. Sounds like the one I'm with. Who is this? Your best friend.
All right. You're listening to Breaking News, absolutely breaking the news with Harry, a.k.a. The Brave, on WNHH LP 103.5 FM, your home for community radio. All right, well, let's do the speed round because I got a very little time left. All right, them snipe at each other in border wall fight. House Democrats fear Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer will sell them out on Trump's wall. Okay, so now what they're talking about is Trump, because a budget has to be done by the end of this month, or they're talking about closing the government. So it's called a lame duck session, right? And that's because the Republicans still hold the House, and they got to get something done before the Democrats take over. So the Republicans are planning to put through funding for the border wall, and the Democrats that are going to take over in January are afraid that Chuck Schumer is going to give in the Senate and agree to give funding for the wall. But the Democrats coming into power in January want to block everything Trump. So it's interesting. So they are at war, right? So not 30 minutes after a group of border state House Democrats accused Chuck Schumer of betraying them on President Donald Trump's wall, the Senate Minority Leader picked up the phone to protest. Retract your statement, Schumer urged Representative Henry Sewell last Thursday. The Texas Democrat and his colleagues had expressed alarm and opposition to comments Schumer made about backing more funding for the border. Schumer argued that he was firmly opposed to Trump's wall with Mexico and would never give in so easily. But Representative Sewell refused the request. I said, no, I'm not going to withdraw the letter because we don't want you weakening House negotiations for Democrats. Sewell recounted of his conversation with Schumer. Okay, so it's interesting how they're clashing. They're going up against each other. Right, that's it. Move on. Woman who popped open some Pringles before paying will be jailed the day the fun stops. It's supposed to be a joke. But an Irish woman who... This is another fake news, right? Here goes. Because the real truth is in the bottom of the story, but they tell you she got arrested for Pringles in the beginning, right? Irish woman who opened a can of Pringles in a store before paying for it has been jailed for causing damage to the chip tube, according to Irish Times. After 25-year-old Kathleen McDonough popped the Pringles while waiting in the self-checkout line of the Tesco store in Cork, from which she has previously been barred. There we go. Now, she has previously been barred from this location, from buying in this location. They said they wouldn't sell to her. So when she grabbed the tube and got on the self-checkout line, they didn't charge her with stealing because she was willing to pay. Instead, they charged her with damaging the tube of Pringles. So damaging personal property is why they charged her with. Right? It's interesting. It's an interesting way to do it. But she has a long history of stealing and bad behavior. But it's interesting how they make it look like, oh, it's just the Pringles, but it's her history of bad behavior. All right, let's move on. This is from the South China Morning Post. China economy. U.S. and China reach 90-day trade tariff ceasefire after Chinese agreed to buy very substantial amount of American goods. So they agreed to 90 days, a 3-month ceasefire, and ceasefire meaning that Trump is not going to hit China with another 25% tariff. Right? The markets were happy this morning with that agreement. And what China did is that they bought a freeze in the negotiations. So they agreed to buy a substantial amount of goods from the U.S. So Donald Trump to hold off on raising the tariff rate on U.S. $200 billion of Chinese imports for 90 days. Right, but they agreed to buy billions in the 90 days, right? So freeze the tariffs and we'll buy American goods. It's basically, so that's what they did. All right. There's a Yahoo News article. Imagine this: Air Force F-35 stealth fighters armed with lasers. Well, imagine no more, because by the year 2021, our stealth fighters, our jets, our military jets are going to have lasers on them. they're going to be able to cut down stuff out the air with lasers. That's pretty cool. Okay, almost out of here. One last story. We'll end with this story from the New York Times. Retrieving body of missionary killed on remote Indian island is a struggle. John Allen Chow, an American missionary, was killed last week as he tried to spread Christianity to North Sentinel, a forbidden island in the Andaman Sea with a long history of repelling outsiders. So, he went to preach his gospel, the gospel, and he got killed for it, right? And this was not his first attempt. He had tried earlier, and they tried to kill him, and he swam away, was barely able to escape, and then he went back. And this tribe is notorious, or they just don't want any outside contact. They're violent. They get violent if you try to have some outside contact. And this guy, I'm surprised Democrats aren't lined up, or Lindsey Graham even, to say we should sanction this little Indian island. We should sanction them because a Christian went over there. Well, an American went over there. Forget that he's Christian. American went over there, and they killed him. Like the Saudis killed that reporter who stepped into their consulate, which means it's their land. Embassies, every country's embassy is considered their land, right? So it's like stepping on U.S. soil when you step into a U.S. embassy. Well, Khashoggi went and stepped on the land of the Saudis, knowing that they wanted him killed. Anyway, so I'm surprised Democrat hasn't asked that we sanction or do something against this tribe. Anyway, all right, that has to be it. You've been listening to Breaking News, absolutely breaking the news with Harry, aka The Brave, on WNHHLP 103.5 FM, your home for community radio. See ya!
The tongue of a man is the rudder of the boat, but the Lord of all is its pilot. Cast not
So you're
thy
a
heart
philosopher? Yes.
after riches. There's no ignoring fate and destiny. Place not thy thoughts on things outside. Every man is destined for his hour.
All feeling goods where all of your cash went. Not chakra alignment or inward refinement. Trying to find one word to describe men. Better yet, can one consciousness unify them? Pondering on these questions is where my time spent. Creative process, believe me, greatness got to achieve it. Ideas we believe in, positive mind, gotta reach in it. Put an effort to bring forth this new being. You're not consumed by the lust for things, but knows that his work is determined by words and deeds. Your mind is affected by words and deeds. Your thoughts are keys to what you're trying to see, and what you're trying to see should be to reach your goals. Hold on to your dreams, keys open doors. Since you can't always choose